Tonight allows a release of all the hatred and violence people keep inside. Oh, and a giant shark. This week on Monster News. A Quiet Place has had the best opening weekend ever for an original horror movie, which is good news for both the studios and genre fans. The film brought in a cool $50 million domestically in its opening weekend. A Quiet Place's opening weekend shot past box office estimates by $20 million, making it the third highest original horror opening behind last year's It remake and Paranormal Activity 3 in 2011. And in other news, John Krasinski is already planning his next film. It'll be a sci-fi thriller called Life on Mars that he will create with his Quiet Place team. The project will adapt a short story by Cecil Castellucci called We Have Always Lived on Mars. The story centers around a woman and descendants of a Martian colony who have long been abandoned by the residents of Earth following a cataclysm. One day, this woman discovers that she can breathe air on Mars, which upends not only her life, but the life of her fellow colonists. As a result, Michael Bay's Platinum Dunes has announced that they will no longer remake horror films. The production company behind A Quiet Place got its start in 2003 with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was a remake of Tobe Hooper's 1974 original. The film was directed by Marcus Nispel and grossed $107 million against an estimated production budget of $9.5 million. No wonder we've been remaking horror films for so long. In an interview with Cinepop, Platinum Dunes co-founder Brad Fuller, who produced A Quiet Place, said, "We've rebooted enough. We've done all of our rebooted horror movies. We're not going to do that anymore." The First Purge trailer has been released, and it explains the history behind the dangerous tradition. In it, the president tells the nation, "Citizens, this will be a tradition we celebrate every year." The debut trailer for The First Purge gets right to the point, with a backer proclaiming, "Tonight allows for a release of all the hatred and violence people keep inside." The First Purge zeroes in on one family, with Lex Scott Davis's character trying to prevent all of the coming violence. All four films center on America that has devolved into a culture where murder is legal for 12 hours on one night every year. The new trailer includes the command, "Join the First Purge," as shouted by the new founding fathers of America, while resistors are shouting, "Do not purge." Later in the trailer, soldiers dressed as civilians convince other civilians to join in. The First Purge will hit theaters on July 4th of this year. The MEG is pleased to eat you. I'm just saying what the poster says. The first trailer is here for the science fiction action thriller based on Steve Alten's 1997 best-selling book, MEG, a novel of deep terror. The MEG arrives on August 10th, and it is a huge shark. That's it for this week's Monster News. I've been your host, Sheena Laird, and this is your Monster of the Week.
Your Honor.
Guilty!
Thanks again for watching this week's Monster News. If you want to stay up to date with all things horror, click this bell right here, and you'll get an alert every time we upload a new video, which will be every week.